All right, so let's get right into it. At the heart of what might be the most important company on the planet right now, OpenAI, there's this puzzle. It's all about its CEO, Sam Altman, and this one number, a number that frankly makes zero sense. That number? $65,000. Yeah, you heard that right. For the longest time, that was the reported salary for the guy literally steering the future of AI. Just let that sit with you for a second. Now, your first thought might be, wow, what a selfless guy, like he's completely dedicated to the mission. And look, the mission is definitely real, but the financial story behind it, it is way more complex. And honestly, it's a masterclass in a totally new way of thinking about building wealth. What we're seeing here is a massive fundamental shift. Think about it. We've moved out of the software era, the age of Gates and Zuckerberg, and we're now entering what you could call the intelligence era. See, Altman isn't just building another app. He's building the plumbing for thought itself. And that means his strategy for wealth, it's a completely different playbook. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to deconstruct his entire wealth architecture. We're going to break down the 6 key mechanisms he's using to completely sidestep the whole work for a salary game and instead make some of the biggest, most focused bets in modern history. Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll tackle the salary illusion. Then we'll dive into his core playbook: assets over salary, computational leverage, intelligence as utility, and something called the closed loop. And finally, we'll look at the last 2 pieces of the puzzle that let him play the really, really long game. All right, section 1. Let's talk about the big trap, the thing that holds back even the most brilliant people from getting real financial leverage. And that's the salary. I mean, even if you're making a huge salary, it's got a built-in ceiling, right? Because you're still just trading your time for money. I mean, just look at the numbers. Let's say you're a top-tier AI researcher. Over a 30-year career, you might pull in, 27 million bucks? That's an amazing life, don't get me wrong. But in this new game, that's a rounding error. It's nothing compared to the upside of just one good seed investment, like in a company like Stripe, which could give you 100x, even 1,000x return. And that right there, that leads us straight into the first pillar of Altman's strategy. It's all about prioritizing assets over a salary. This is the secret sauce. This is how you stop trading time for money. So here's the difference, and it's absolutely critical. A salary pays you for your labor, your time. But an asset pays you for the value of collective labor. We're talking about the work of hundreds, maybe thousands of other people. The leverage you get from that is it's insane. And look, Altman figured this out a long, long time ago, way before anyone was even talking about OpenAI. When he was running Y Combinator, he made more than 700 seed investments. He was cutting those early checks to companies like Stripe and Reddit. So while everyone else was looking at his $65,000 salary, his real wealth was just exploding in the background, compounding like crazy. Okay, so this whole asset strategy feeds right into the next big idea, mechanism number 2. In the old days, leverage meant getting a big loan or writing clever code. But in this new intelligence era, Altman basically pioneered a whole new kind of leverage, computational leverage. Seriously, you can think of it as the new oil. Think about it. To build something as massive as GPT-4, you need an insane amount of computing power. We're talking billions of dollars worth. Altman didn't have that kind of cash just lying around. So what did he do? He leveraged his vision. He went to Microsoft and landed that monster $10 billion plus deal, mostly in cloud credits. It's like he took out compute debt to buy the raw ingredients for building intelligent. And this is it's a brilliant lesson. He used $10 billion of Microsoft's machinery to build the most valuable software layer in the world. It proves a powerful point. You don't have to own the machinery. You just have to control the output. So you've got the assets, you've got the leverage. Now what? You need a way to get it out to the world. And that brings us to mechanism number 3, thinking of intelligence as a utility, not just a product. It's like he's building the entire electrical grid, not just one fancy light bulb. Yeah, most of us see ChatGPT and we think, cool product. But Altman, he sees it as a demo for a new kind of electricity. The real play, the genius move, is the API. That's the system that lets thousands of other developers build their own stuff on top of OpenAI's foundation. He's not just building an app, he's building the windows for the entire AI revolution. The network effects from that are just massive. Okay, on to mechanism number 4. And this one explains the almost unfair advantage he has. It's this idea of the closed loop. And it's all about access to capital on terms that you and I, well, we can only dream of. See, because of who he is, Altman plays in a totally different sandbox, a private market. While a regular person might get to invest in a company when it's already worth $1 trillion, he gets in the door when the valuation is practically zero. He's not knocking on doors for money. The money is knocking on his door, and that changes everything. The real wealth isn't made by investing in the deal. It's made by being the person who creates the deal in the first place. And having that kind of access, that's what makes the final part of his architecture possible. It really comes down to two last principles: having an incredibly long time horizon and making huge, concentrated bets. So first, you've got the long time horizon. Just like Jeff Bezos did with Amazon, Altman was totally fine with looking like he was just burning money on a crazy science project for years, because he was playing for the whole economy. And second, concentration. Forget diversifying into 100 little things. He makes massive, targeted bets on what he sees as the core pillars of the future. I mean, he personally put $375 million into Helion, a nuclear fusion startup. He's basically betting on the two things that will power everything: intelligence and energy. And if you zoom out and look at history, you start to see a pattern here, right? Rockefeller cornered the oil refinery. Gates owned the operating system. Bezos dominated logistics. Altman is running the same playbook, but he's centralizing what might be the most valuable commodity in human history, the foundation model for intelligence. So let's put it all together. The old way of building wealth was pretty straightforward, pretty linear. You work, you save, you put it in an index fund. But the Altman strategy, it's exponential. You own, you leverage, and you concentrate. It's a totally different game. It's that classic J-curve, super high risk, but with an absolutely explosive potential for reward. And this really gets us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. What Sam Altman's playbook shows us is a fundamental truth about the economy we're all living in now. As AI gets better and better, the value of just pure human labor is going to go down. But the value of owning the systems that automate that labor, that's going to go up, maybe infinitely. So it really leaves you with a pretty challenging question, doesn't it? In this new world we're entering, maybe the most important question isn't how can I work harder, but instead, what do I own? Because the shift to this intelligence era is happening right now, and getting your head around this new architecture, well, that's step one.